$10,000 a month. For whatever reason, that seems to be the number that most online coaches immediately want to ascend to. I got a lot. I can't lie. When I first started as an online coach, for me it was $100,000 a year. So I was looking more like the $8,300 a month. But 10K seems to be the gold standard. And this video is for you. If you are an online coach and you are looking to create your first $10,000 month in the digital space. So first and foremost, let's zoom out. How do we actually get $10,000? How do we create that amount of money? And more importantly, is that amount of money something that we are keeping? I think it is massively important to note that if you're a new coach, your first 10 grand should be almost 100% profit. I do not believe that you should be reliant on VAs. I don't think you should be reliant on content people. I don't think you should be reliant on salespeople. I think that you should be a solopreneur that is out there building $10,000. If you haven't been able to produce that alone, you probably shouldn't be hiring people because you don't have a stable business. And if you don't have a stable business, you shouldn't be having employees that are reliant upon you to provide for them and ultimately their families. But to get to $10,000, we first need an offer. Are you somebody that's going to be super high ticket? Are you going to sell one person a month at $10,000? Are you somebody that's going to be super low ticket and we're just going to charge $100 and we're going to need to sell 100 people per month? It really doesn't matter. I think that very contrary to what most of the gurus in the online space will tell you, I think your pricing model in the beginning is less important than what most people make it out to be. And the reason for that is I think as a coach, it's far more important to build momentum than it is to have the perfect pricing structure. I know that when I started, I was $100 a month. And what I loved was that every time I got on a sales call, I was expecting to hear the word yes. I was almost offended if I heard the word no. And because I was expecting to hear the word yes, when I raised my price to $200 a month, and then $300 a month, and then $500 a month, and ultimately I got to $1,000 and $2,000 per month, I still expected to hear the word yes. And that's because everything was predicated on momentum. And so I think if you're a brand new coach, you need to choose a pricing model that you're comfortable with. And the pricing model I do suggest, especially in 2024, is one that I call a revolving pricing model. And this is a down payment or an enrollment fee combined with a monthly fee. And the beautiful thing here is the down payment can actually serve as a price anchor. I know that if I was just starting and I was using this model, I would probably starting somewhere around $1,000 to $1,500 down and somewhere between $250 and $500 a month. And for the first probably 10 to 20 clients I took on, I would probably waive that enrollment fee in exchange for very quick action. And the reason I would do that is I want to be stacking my monthly recurring revenue, because $10,000 one month is very different than $10,000 every month. And I hope that you want to build a business that is generating $10,000 each and every month predictably and ultimately serving as a platform for you to grow on. So if you're looking for a pricing model, I highly suggest using a revolving model, but more importantly, you need to choose a price that aligns with you, your level of comfort, and is of course in line with the amount of value that you are going to produce. Now, the next thing we're going to need is leads. Obviously, as a brand new coach, you probably haven't built up a lot of social proof. Hopefully you've worked with some people for free. Hopefully you have built the ability or, kind of the resume that showcases what you can do as a coach. So obviously we want to put that information out there, but you probably don't have a lot of people beating down your door asking to work with you because you just haven't been able to showcase those results in the world. And that's okay. And so when we look at lead generation, we understand there's actually 6 sources of leads. There's earned media, owned media, paid media, referrals, partners and affiliates, and of course, outbound. Now, if you're huge on social media, fantastic. We should definitely leverage that for leads. But my guess is that you're watching this on YouTube right now, or you're listening to this on a podcast, and you probably don't have a massive media presence. That's okay. I definitely believe you should use any amount of presence that you have because your earliest adopters are your hottest fans, and you should still be continuing to focus on growing that. You should not be trying to sell directly through earned media. Instead, we want that to be your value proposition. In fact, we want most of your earned media to turn into owned media. This is your email list. This is your Facebook group. This is your SMS list. This is your school community, your Discord channel, whatever it might be. This is what you really need to be focusing on in terms of lead generation. In fact, with my coaching clients, we define a lead as somebody whose contact information we own. We don't even consider your social media following leads until we own their information. Again, if you're a brand new coach, I don't suspect that you have a massive budget for paid media, so I'm going to skip right over that. I don't think you need to be running ads. I don't think you should be running ads. Referrals, probably non-existent. You don't have a lot of clients. Not a great way to generate a lot of new clients. But now we get to one that's really interesting, and that is partners and affiliates. And I have to tell you, I made my first, not just $10,000, but $1 million solely through the use of partners and affiliates. And what we know to be true about lead generation is that you do not have to go out and create leads. It is your job as a coach, as an entrepreneur, to find leads. And the way that we find leads is that we actually understand, where are our prospects congregating? And more importantly, how do I insert myself into that stream of traffic? Not just insert, but how do I insert myself as a source of value? How do I show up with a solution? How do I show them I understand the real problem? And then how do I demonstrate the fact that they can trust me to deliver the solution that they desire? When you can do this, partners and affiliates will be one of the single best acquisition strategies that you have. And so for me, as a brand new nutrition coach that was working with CrossFitters, I just went to CrossFit gyms. I reached out to the owners. I offered to do free seminars. In those free seminars, I basically answered everyone's question. And then at the very end, to really capture their trust, I made them a low ticket, low barrier, no-brainer offer. I think the real magic there is I actually incentivized the gym owner. I gave them some of the profit share, and this helped them push the people whose trust they had, their members. It helped them push them into my product, at which point I demonstrated to them, hey, I am pretty good at what I do, and at the end of this, you should probably join my one-on-one coaching. That led me to $1 million in 1 year. I did that 37 times out of 52 different weeks and was able to generate a considerable amount of cash. And then, of course, there's outbound. I think outbound is maybe the most popular technique from 2020 until now. I think it's the sleaziest technique. It is the one that I'm the least fan of, but I would not be telling the truth if I said that it didn't work. There are a lot of people in the very beginning that have made a lot of money purely on cold outbound messaging, cold outbound dialing. You know, it exists for a reason. It does work. It's annoying. I don't think anybody likes getting spam. I certainly don't like getting spam. I don't think you like getting spam if you're watching this right now. But that being said, there is something called warm outbound. And if you read Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Leads, he talks about warm outbound. There are a lot of people that are already liking, commenting, engaging with your stuff. You following up with them and offering them a resource is outbound, but it's not cold. It's not sleazy. It's showing, hey, listen, I see that you're following along. I want to make sure I'm delivering on what you need. And I think that is a very appropriate form of outbound. So the first thing that you need to do aside of your offer, if you're trying to get to $10,000 in a month, is ask yourself, how am I going to generate leads? And I think that what this results in from a product standpoint is you should be able to tell me or yourself week by week exactly where you should be expecting your leads from. If you can't look at the next 12 weeks or the next quarter of your business and tell me every single week the definitive source of leads that will be coming into your business, you are guessing. You are posting and praying. You are, whatever those sayings are in the business, that's what you're doing. And anytime that you're leaving your business to chance, you're not guaranteeing that you're going to hit your financial targets. So instead, look across the 6 sources of leads I just shared: earned, paid, owned, partners and affiliates, referrals, and outbound, and put a calendar together with your clear actions. In fact, if you want to see a sample top of funnel calendar, just comment below. I will share one that our business has built, and I'll show you exactly what predictable lead generation looks like. From there, you need to be able to move leads to sales opportunities, and we call this nurture, okay? Nurture is the most overlooked aspect in building a business. In fact, just pause this video, go scroll your Facebook, go scroll your Instagram. You'll see all sorts of marketing and sales tactics promoted to you. What you won't see is the dirty work, like the hard work, which is getting those leads, those hard-earned leads that you're marketing for, to sales opportunities. And when you can do this on demand, that's when you can really print a lot of money, and that's when you can predictably make a lot of money to grow and scale your business, okay? And there's 3 different types of nurture. There is launch-based nurture, there's organic-based nurture, and then there's trigger-based nurture. And trigger-based nurture is something that I have introduced just this year. Now, your launch-based nurture is probably what you're going to focus on if you're trying to make your first $10,000. But please note, It's not something I think your business should be reliant upon, okay? And I'll give you 3 simple ways that you can use launch-based nurture right now. The first is what I call the scholarship, all right? I think you should basically call your program a program, right? Wrap it up and give away a scholarship to it, all right? 6 months of coaching with you, valued at X amount of dollars, and all of the people that are following you, have them sign up, have them give you their name, their email, their phone number, and tell you why they should be the one chosen for that full ride scholarship to the results you're going to produce for them, all right? Go through it, choose one winner, then go back through and find all the ones that resonate with you, and perhaps consider giving them a partial scholarship, okay? Give them access to your program. And you can do this through the use of a discount. You can do this through the use of a custom deal. However you want to position your scholarship, that's up to you. We do have very specific frameworks we use with our clients to really make these partial scholarships appealing. But this is an immediate way for you to generate sales opportunities, all right? The next one is the use of demonstration assets. I love the challenge, using a 21-day challenge, getting people enrolled completely for free, being very direct with them. Hey, listen, 21 days is likely not going to get you where you want to be. However, 21 days is the start that you need to get to where you want to be. Then at the end, we use what's called an assessment. You openly go through, hey, this is what we've achieved together. This is what you still need to achieve. You become very giving. You give them the outline of how they will ultimately achieve those things. You help them understand they probably don't have the skills, resources, or tools to do it alone, and that's where coaching comes in. Once again, you've created a sales opportunity. And then the final one is some sort of webinar. You know, Russell Brunson popularized these in Expert Secrets. I still think they're very valid. I do not believe you should be making a pitch from your webinar. Instead, from your webinar, you're going to want to mix this with what's called a trigger. A trigger is a massive piece of value that revolves around implementation. Okay, and so what you're going to do is perhaps consider giving somebody an assessment. Hey, over the last hour, I just taught you about the importance of your metabolism. Right now, if you want to understand your metabolic score, do me a favor, comment. I'll do it for 10 people completely for free. Inside of giving somebody a metabolic score, you're now going to help them understand how they can improve it, the reasons they need to improve it, and then, of course, showcase that they don't have the tools, skills, or resources to improve it on their own. And, of course, that's where coaching comes in. So nurture is how you're going to take all of these hard-earned leads, move them to sales opportunities. Then, of course, you need to be able to sell. If you don't like selling, I'm sorry to say you need to start to like selling. Not saying it needs to be your favorite thing at the end of the day, but you certainly need to be able to confidently close your offer. Again, go back to the beginning of this video. Make sure your offer is something you truly believe in, something that allows you to generate momentum, and make sure you're in a position to close. And finally, my friends, if you are going to make 10 grand in a month, if you're going to be somebody that is a source of income, therefore a source of value in this space, please show up and please deliver on your promises. Make sure you're actually good at what you do, because then we'll bring in that whole referral part to your lead generation. So there you have it, how I would make my first 10 grand. I would get leads primarily through the use of partners and affiliates. I would use launch-based nurture. I would make sure I can close based on the back of having an offer that I feel has momentum, and I would be very good at what I do. If you have questions on any of that, by all means, hit the link below, contact me anywhere on the internet. I'm more than happy to help you do it. I hope you crush it. I hope you make way more than 10 grand in a month. I hope you keep all of the money, but more importantly, I hope you change a lot of lives. And my thanks to you for always choosing impact over everything.